So, hello everyone. Welcome to yet another Cooking Shooking Live today here at Indo Indians. And I'm very happy that we have a very special theme today. And our theme today is gut health and probiotics. Probiotics. It's for everything to help our gut stay healthy, our digestive system, that is. And Jyoti Chawla is our not only a moderator, but she'll also give us a short presentation on gut health and how that is related to all that has to do with probiotics. And that is the theme for today, probiotics. Because we are also looking at recipes which have to, which are probiotic foods. So these would be really fun recipes, easy to make, easy to execute, and make sure that your gut stays healthy. So Jyoti, over to you.
Thank you, Poonam. Am I audible to everybody?
Yes.
Great. Okay. Well, welcome everybody. Lovely to have all of you looking lovely and nice, and especially the participants are looking nice and glowing. This is something which Poonam and I had discussed months ago, that we need to do a session about probiotics. Coincidentally, it falls in the time when we are all far more health conscious than ever before. So it's, I would say, perfect timing for the program. Most of us have heard gut health, probiotic, few prebiotic, few foods we are all familiar which are good for our gut. But what is this whole thing about? I think the only thing that we need to know about human mind is that human body has a ringmaster. Simple thing. And the ringmaster is which is controlling your digestion, it's controlling your immunity, your brain, your weight, your mood, depression, anxiety, autoimmune diseases, diabetes type 2. So including your happy hormones, so to say, oxytocin, your serotonin, all of it is controlled by one element which is called gut health. All of this lives in our system. And if you're able to manage that, most of these conditions would settle down fairly well. Now, the reason why we are not able to do this are multiple, and we'll just walk through that quickly. So the most important thing to remember here is your gut and emotions work together. So if you're happy, obviously there is something right in your gut. Coming to another key thing is, most of us have some or the other tummy issues at different times of life. We're very embarrassed to speak about it. We just ignore it. It could be simple thing like, some people get gas often, some people fart often, some people have a bad breath and they're not able to figure out what it is, and they just brush twice or thrice a day. But we just think, kuch kha liya hoga, or something which triggered this, and we just pop in a pill and then we move on for the day and it's gone and forgotten. So since it is not a bigger issue, we don't address it long term, and it starts to breed and breed and breed. So bloating, gas, pain, diarrhea are the most common things which most of us have. There are people, I have had a chat sometimes, they said, anything I eat, after a meal, I need to run to the washroom. But then I'm okay after that. But they have not gone and tested it further. I feel very bloated every day. I mean, certain days, PMS, understandable. But if you're bloated regularly and most often in a month, time to, have a bell ringing to say what's happening. But again, as I said, these are not big issues. We don't look at it. However, as we move and we see, if you look at statistics, can I share a presentation here?
Yeah, please go ahead. Okay.
What we're saying here is depression, fatigue, thyroid imbalances, any pains, any fogging, which are most common things. And even if you have gas, bloating, again, it is something at your gut. But again, we've ignored it because it is not alarming enough for us to address it. If you look at statistics, there are 70% of body's immune system is in our digestive tract, which is in our stomach. The gut processes foods, produces vitamins, enzymes, and it flourishes the bad bacteria out of our system. However, there is a way and a process to doing that. How does this bad bacteria get into our body? It gets into our body at various stages. It starts by birth, right? So if you've had a cesarean birth at that point of time, if you have been on contraceptive pills at that point of time, if a child is formula fed completely at that point of time, when you are growing in your early years, if you've been given too many antibiotics, it starts setting into your gut. Too much of processed foods, which have a lot of chemicals and preservatives, very low fiber in your diet, very high sugar, high starches, a lot of inorganic food, which has pesticide and herbicide and agricultural, chemicals. And that is the reason why over the years, people have been saying organic. And a lot of us think, oh, this is a fad, organic. But it isn't really a fad. Organic means which is totally chemical free. That's what's going into your body. So it's extremely essential to go organic for especially your fresh produce, because at least you can eliminate some part of it. I think there's one more thing important to remember here is that you can't be too clean also. You need a little bit of that bad bacteria also. You know, if your system is just too clean, you won't be able to handle if even a little bit of bad bacteria comes in. But you have to strike that balance, which works for you. So this is what we just spoke about. Now, why is it important? It is important, gut health, because our gut health is impacting us in many ways than just our stomach. It is taking care of our entire system, from our brain to our stomach to our toes. There are a lot of ways, you know, we talk about when you start eating food without labels, you really don't need to count your calories. And that's so true. A lot of us means really the biggest number in population you can imagine, struggle with weight most of their lives. A lot of them underweight, mostly overweight, and they continuously struggle. They lose, they go back. They lose, they go back, which we say yo-yo system. Your gut is responsible for it to a large extent.
What you eat, you feel. What you eat, you feel, and then how you weigh, how you look.
Absolutely. So your skin gets impacted. If your gut is not clean, your skin is impacted. Your mind is fogged up. You know, your mind is not at ease. You're stressed out. There is a lot of anxiety. See, you put on weight, first thing. You start getting stressed out with that, second thing. You start getting mood swings. You're fatigued. You're not able to do a lot of things. Your skin starts to show. Your digestion becomes bad. You're largely bloated, gassy. And so it's a cycle of events which starts in. But the most important thing here to remember is that it is in our hands to control it to a very large extent by just understanding what can make it work better. We move to things which says when you have a poor gut, it can even lead to some very severe diseases like hernia, colon cancer, autoimmune diseases, blood pressure, multiple sclerosis, obesity, diabetes, and to a certain extent, cancer. Because basically what's happening is the bad bacteria is increasing in your stomach, and which is just getting fed and fed and fed. To a large extent, people then start having a leaky gut. Now, a leaky gut is basically when the gut membrane becomes so thin that the proteins that you eat get straight moved into the bloodstreams. So that's a leaky gut. What is not required to go in your bloodstreams is just going into your bloodstreams. So at the end of the day, it's how you manage your food to a large extent, which is responsible for your entire well-being.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, we can just stop at any point of time. Coming to mental health associated with our stomach, there is a hormone or a happy hormone called serotonin, which is the food for hormone. 90% of this is produced in the gut. And that
Maybe
is why
you need to change the slide, Jyoti.
Yeah. And that is why, you know, there is this saying, my gut feeling is so. You have an instinct in your mind which tells you something is going to happen. And then you end up saying, that's my gut feeling. That's my gut instinct. That's exactly where the phrase comes from, because your gut is responsible for this big hormone called serotonin, which is produced and which makes you so happy and, you know, energetic and comfortable. The other thing is, when your gut is healthy, what happens when your gut is healthy? It protects your brain. The brain is our powerhouse and it protects our brain. It takes away things like depression, anxiety, even autism to a large extent. You feel good, you look beautiful. I can put this back. You sleep much better. The anti-inflammatory part of your body is reduced. However, the things that you need to do, what we talk about probiotic, I just want to spend a minute here about, there is something called prebiotic and something called probiotic. Now, prebiotic is basically, probiotic, everybody knows, it's the good bacteria that the food that we create adds to your gut, like yogurt, the things that we're going to make today, Shrikhand, that's what is probiotic. There is something called prebiotic also. Now, prebiotic is like a special food. It's a plant fiber. It's basically a yogurt, a fermented drink made with cow or goat's milk. It is added with kaffir grains, which are more of colonies of yeast and lactic acid, like a fresh bacteria. And it's like a yogurt drink. Now, the thing with kaffir, which is a key prebiotic, is it has 90% more good bacteria than even yogurt. So one dose of kaffir drink takes care of 90% of your gut health. It's a special, you know, like the prebiotic drinks or the prebiotic foods, they are special plant fiber that act as a food for the good bacteria. So you already have good bacteria in your stomach. So when you eat these foods nourish that good bacteria, right? Whereas when you eat yogurt and all, it just adds to the number of bacteria. So if you have 100 good bacteria, eating a cup of yogurt every day makes it 200. Whereas when you eat these foods, which are prebiotic, they add and nourish the existing good bacteria as well and make them stronger. So the prebiotic foods are, sorry, is there something?
No.
Okay. So the prebiotic foods are things like banana, onion, garlic, berries, legumes, beans, peas, oats, leeks, apple skin, asparagus, chicory root, etc. So with the probiotic, we also need to be a little aware of prebiotic, which can really add, you know, if you do it together, it really works well. For probiotic, there are lots of options. There is miso soup, there is sauerkraut, or, you know, fermented vegetable pickles, kimchi, kombucha. Kombucha is very popular in Indonesia, as I see a lot of people enjoy those drinks. Kaffir, which is dairy or non-dairy, depending on what you like. So this is something which I had researched and I thought it was very, very useful. Okay, this is the sign of a poor gut. Okay. So if you want to look beautiful, if you want to have a lovely skin, feel more energetic and live, it's time to address to your gut health. Okay. We need to do probiotic foods. We need to do prebiotic foods, some things which are not in the slide, which I thought you should know. Hydration. I think it's very, very important. At least minimal of 2 liters of water, unless the doctor has prescribed you against that. Minimal, very low sugar. Natural sugar is the only sugar one should stick to. Starches. Go green, eat organic.
Yeah.
Even if you're not a believer in it, believe you me, after this research, go organic. That's one very big way of eliminating a lot of bad stuff, which is good. Because each time, you know, we go to a doctor, we're not feeling well, we like, give an antibiotic. we're not realizing that antibiotic is not just weakening your system, it is flushing away all the good bacteria out of your system. And it takes time to get the good bacteria back into your system. So avoid it if possible. Give rest to your gut. So it reminded me of Geeta's program of intermittent fasting. Believe you me, to improve your gut health, that really, really is essential. You have to give your system time for it to recuperate. So regular eating, if it is small meals and has to have certain gaps, you need to rest your gut. And fermented foods are the best. And that is why today we have requested a lot of our friends to do this. We will move to fermented foods for gut health. There you go. Very important to remember, heat kills probiotic. So you have to have it in a cool place. Please remember, the more you heat it, it will kill all the goodness of it. Stick to natural stuff as far as possible. And we will move to the fermented foods. Okay. The fermented foods actually go through a process called lactofermentation. And this is exactly why, since it is created in an environment that preserves the food and promotes beneficial enzymes, vitamin Bs and some omega-3s, the good bacteria grows in it. The most common, of course, we all know is kombucha, pickles, miso, tempeh, kimchi, some of the cheeses as well.
So I think a lot of our Indian foods also, all the dosa, idli, the dhokla, all of them are also.
All of them, yeah. Coming to the fermented vegetables, we all pickle vegetables at home, and this is the easiest one to do. The fermented vegetables, even making kimchi at home. Yogurts, most of the Indian families make their own yogurts. Homemade sauerkraut, which is fairly easy. YouTube is full of this recipe. Fermented soy products, again, this was quite a discovery that soya has a lot of, that is why we come to tempeh today, since it is the fermented process, and kefir. This was quite an eye-opener for me, that it has 90% more of the good bacteria as compared to a yogurt. And kefir drinks are easily available everywhere, so it's not so difficult for people to get it. For people who are vegan, can stick to, kefir made with coconut milk or with almond milk. So that takes care of this. And your gut health means healthy you. So if I am not losing weight, I really know why I'm not losing weight. Similarly, if somebody is feeling low or lethargic, some health issues which we are pushing under the carpet, thinking it's really not a big one, I can ignore it. It's only because we need to address our gut. That takes away everything. Okay.
No, this is all.
This is fun thing to know, actually. Our digestive system is 7 meters long. Wow. So every 6 months, we produce our body weight in excreta, which was quite an alarming thing. So if you're 70 kilos is what you're throwing out of your body. Then how much are you putting inside your body is even worse. So it takes 24 to 72 hours for food to move through our digestive system. Now the reason why intermittent fasting works, and why every time you do IF, your gut and your whole system gets rejuvenated, because they need breaks. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Great.
Just stop sharing.
Yes, I'm going to just do that. Where are you? There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
So keeping this in mind, I think it's time to now understand what kind of foods. We may think yogurt is a very easy one, and we may think, tempeh is not a big deal, but there are techniques to these things. And some of the things are as simple as kanji.
Yeah.
Poonam has been making her, kanji for a long, long time, and it's very easy, very simple, and reminds me of the kanji which we have in India with that purple carrots, but she makes it in a unique way. So, and of course, gut friendly, it can stay for a few days, and it's quite khatta and yum, and it's nice, refreshing drink.
The best part, it has 0 calories.
That. I mean, can we excuse ourselves and say we can't do this, then we are really not striving to do anything for ourselves.
It is the easiest thing to do, indeed. And, I just share the recipe with everyone so everybody can see what it looks like. So that's my kanji. And, the kanji, look at the color. It's so beautiful because of the beetroot. And it's really simple to make. And you can put carrots in it. You can put carrots and you can put beetroot in it. And you can afterwards eat the carrots and beetroot like salad. And they're still crisp, but they taste really good.
Yeah.
And the recipe, if you'd like to take a picture or, just take it, it's just...
Upload the recipes for all the participants anyway on the Facebook and on the Indo-Indians website for eternity with copyrights.
So you just need beetroot, carrots, 1 teaspoon of mustard powder, rye powder, 1 teaspoon of salt in a liter of water. And you mix everything in a clean jar and cover it with a cloth and keep in a dark place. Check the taste every day. And when it's just right, you just need to store it in the fridge. So I made, I'm at the office at the moment. So this is just a short video I made. So you can see the water in the jug. And I have the pieces of beetroot and carrot. And it's just salt and rye. That's all.
Two questions have come up. One is from me. What kind of rye is this? Is it the yellow rye dal or is it the normal black rye one?
So the rye is the brown one, the small brown one.
Okay, the tiny brown one.
Yeah.
Okay. And Rita Srivastav is asking, how long do you keep it in the jar and leave it?
So I taste it every day. I mix
Why do you taste it every day?
I stir it with a spoon in the mornings and I taste it.
So you want to taste it till it becomes sour, is it?
Yes. So it takes 3 to 4 days here in Jakarta.
Okay. So once it is sour, you put it in the refrigerator.
I put it in the fridge. I put the whole thing in a jar and I put it in the fridge.
Okay. Plastic or glass jar?
So when I make it, I make it in a plastic jar. This one is only for the video purposes, but I usually make it into a plastic jar.
But okay. All right.
And I just put a rubber band on top. That's it.
Does it last you in the refrigerator?
I have kept it up to a week and it works just fine. It's just perfect. In fact, I brought my kanji to my office today. So as you can see the beautiful color. And, look at that. Can you see the lovely color? And it's yum.
In the wine glass, you won't miss the red wine.
Yeah.
Well, it looks lovely.
And it's tangy. And, there are no bubbles, but it has a bubbly taste to it. Yeah. And it's really...
So how much do you drink every time?
Well, I enjoy it, so I drink a glass. But if you read online, they say you can have 1/4 of a cup is enough.
Yeah.
But I enjoy the veggies also.
Yeah, and they're nicely marinated and little khatta. So
yeah,
correct. Lovely.
Lovely.
Awesome. Do we have any questions for Poonam?
Yeah, it is the easiest thing. You can make it with anything you like. You can even put radishes in it, but I like the color. And you can also make small moong dal pakodi and you can put it. Yes. And so you get the very nice
flavor and taste and everything. Yeah. I think it's very interesting for me to know that usually when I've had kanji, it's always been with the purple carrots. So it's very interesting to know you can do it with the orange or the red carrots and put beetroot for the lovely color.
Yes.
Can I suggest something here, please?
Sure.
Yeah, you can add amla to this.
Yeah.
Because that is vitamin C and it's very good for the gut again.
Perfect. Grate it and add some amla. Correct. Last time I did it.
And also some cucumber maybe.
Yeah.
Cucumber, folks, a lot of people, cucumber does not soothe their stomachs when it's fermented.
Oh, okay.
So you have to be careful. But amla is a sure shot.
Yes.
So there's this question from Rita where she says, do I keep it in the sun? No, I don't keep it on the sun. I can just keep it on top of a table, in the kitchen or in the dining room, and I just put it. There's no such thing that it has to be kept in the sun or anything.
So basically the rye and the salt is fermenting the whole thing together.
And we are not really using like hot water. It's just normal temperature.
Okay, great. Sounds good and yum. Enjoy your drink. I wish we were all there to share.
We always make with moong dal vada and we call it kanji vada.
Yes, and it's yum.
Yeah.
It's very good.
We always make kanji vada.
Yeah.
Correct. See, something so healthy, and yet we had that vada, that deep fried vada.
Sometimes yum things also needed. Not
Yes.
always all you gets bored na, with all healthy. Sometimes break also.
Absolutely, Sarita, totally agree. Great. Thank you, Poonam. Thank you for that easy, quick, and healthy recipe. Easy drink and perfectly for most of it's summertime and it's great. Thank you. We move to Vasanti. Vasanti has been one of the most excellent cooks you will find in Jakarta.
Oh my God.
And a lot of people have tried and tested, tasted, and enjoyed her food. And she's really one of the very, very talented friends we all have.
Thank you,
Very
Jyoti.
knowledgeable also, I must say. You know, you like just now you shared that amla tip. Honestly, that's a very, very, so you're very knowledgeable with food and everything. You may think we have, sorry, go ahead.
For me, food is curiosity,
Yeah.
the logic, and the science.
Wow.
That is what food is all about to me.
Great.
The science behind food excites me, and the curiosity how to improve something or change something, its taste, its look, that really keeps me going about food. That's all what food is about to me.
Awesome.
Lovely. Lovely. And I see that you've passed that on to your next generation. Your daughter is very much into the same.
Daughter and my son also can cook brilliantly.
Yeah, I've tasted that. I can vouch for it. Well, okay, so Vasanti is going to share 3 things with us. She's sharing a probiotic porridge to begin your day. She's sharing yogurt making. She's doing 2 kinds of yogurt, which is a plain yogurt and a coconut yogurt. Now, most of us may think, he make concert technique here, we know it. But believe you me, a lot of us don't get our yogurts right. You know, either it's too runny or it's too, you know, that stringy effect, or it's just not well made. So Vasanti's been very generous. She's going to share some tips, tricks, and techniques. So we're very thankful to you, Vasanti, for joining us. We've been trying to get you for some time, but either you were traveling or we were all having some net issues and all, and we couldn't.
Yes, yes.
Finally, we've got you on the show. So quite looking
Thanks
forward.
for having me on the show, Poonam and Jyoti.
Pleasure is all ours. Should we begin with the porridge?
Certainly, yes, I'm all ready.
Come.
So this is a prebiotic fenugreek porridge. So you need parboiled rice, that is your idli rice. Parboiled rice is idli rice.
Okay.
So I've taken about 2 tablespoons of idli rice and 1/4 tablespoon of fenugreek seeds, that is methi seeds. Soaked it for overnight, that is for at least 8 hours.
Okay.
So you'll see this. I have this earthen pot.
Okay.
So I generally soak it in this.
Okay.
And then I grind it. Into, yeah, this is the earthen pot. I soak it overnight in this earthen pot. And then it's ground. I grind it in a mixie. The consistency, I don't know whether I can show it to you. It is a bit coarse. The rice is coarse.
Just like the idli mix, which is slightly coarse.
Yes.
Okay.
And now let me just get ready and show it to you. 1 sec, just give me a sec. Yeah.
And while Vasanti does that, I will show you the recipe.
Right. Yeah.
So this is the recipe, which is very simple. She takes half a teaspoon parboiled rice.
Sorry, go ahead, Poonam.
Yeah, and then she takes 1/4 teaspoon of the methi seeds, some salt. But the salt is not required initially. She just soaks it up. In fact, I got the recipe from her and I tried it at home. And it came out really nice. It was very warm. It was, when it is hot off the stove, it is very comforting to eat. It's like comfort food.
Okay, lovely.
And then you just wash and soak the rice and methi seeds in clean water after it has been soaked for 8 hours. And you grind it to a coarse paste and then you just cook it. So I'm just going to get back to Vasanti now.
Yes. So now what I've ground in the mixie, before adding it to the pan, always add a little water. Anything, so that you know your pan is kind of seasoned.
Yeah.
It starts to boil, nothing sticks to your pan. That's one trick when you do these kind of stuff. And now I've added this. Can you all see?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'm going to cook this. See,
Is anybody holding your camera? Can they just move it up?
No.
Okay, no worries. No worries.
Fine, it's fine.
You can just tilt it when it's done.
yeah, one sec.
So Vasanti, this earthenware pot that you use it only for this?
Yes, for soaking the rice overnight and the fenugreek.
Why earthenware?
Yeah, earthenware always helps for fermentation in faster and in a better way. Now that much research I haven't done. My grandparents used to always do it in earthen pots.
All our families have been doing it in
And
earthenware.
I'm now slowly moving to earthen pots even for my cooking because you get very good stuff on Tokopedia here. And earlier I used to get some lovely stuff in Majestic. So I set my yogurt in that. If I can show you something, I'll show you. I got these from India.
Oh, the kullad, like the kullad.
So I set my yogurt in this. So this is a perfect portion for me every day. One portion is perfect and it sets very well.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So
What is the liquid in the pan, Vasanti?
it's that water that I ground it with. You soak it, you ferment it, right?
Okay.
So once you put the rice and the fenugreek seeds, you add enough water so that the whole thing is immersed overnight. And with the same liquid, you grind it into the mix in a mixie till it's coarse. And then now you cook it. See, it's almost cooked.
Oh, so it becomes like a porridge. It becomes thickened like porridge.
Reminding me of baby food and that soft, porridgey, hard thing.
And it smells so good because of the fenugreek seeds.
Yes.
Now people who like to eat garlic can also add chopped garlic at this when you start cooking this. I don't personally like garlic in the mornings because this is a morning breakfast for me. I don't like garlic. Okay. So I avoid it. Now you can add your salt.
Okay. So salt.
And this is my homemade coconut milk.
Okay.
And you see I'm adding a bit of that. This is, I presume everyone knows how to make coconut milk at home. So you
we buy.
No, you grate fresh coconut, add a little hot water, let it sit, blend it, and then run it through a muslin cloth. So you get coconut milk. See, my porridge is ready.
Rita, you can tell your maid to make. All Indonesian maids know how to make it.
It's really
I know they also take the easy way out and give it
very yum.
Vasanti wants to eat. So Vasanti, you've added salt to it. Can you also add sugar?
No sugar, please.
No sugar.
No sugar.
And why?
The process of having a healthy meal is lost.
But you can add honey if you don't want to do processed sugar.
Oh, good.
It doesn't taste good. See, because when you add coconut milk, if you add salt and porridge, with this rice and fenugreek, it tastes very nice. Now, the moment you add honey or sugar, I've tried it. It doesn't taste that good. If you add milk, it doesn't taste that good. Yes, this whole thing can be cooled down and you can add buttermilk and salt. That also tastes very nice. To that, you can add chilies, you can add a little bit of asafoetida. All that tastes nice when you add it to buttermilk.
Yeah. The other thing is, tell me when you're cooking and when you're adding salt and all, can you add some steamed veggies?
I guess you can, but you know what? This porridge, our generations, this is passed down through generations to me.
Yeah.
Okay, 3 generations down. Okay. And it's always been given to even the 3-year-olds to the 80-year-old. Yeah. So I presume when you're 80, early in the morning, you cannot digest that much vegetables.
Correct.
And plus maybe they could not get a bite into the vegetables.
Yeah.
So possibly that's why it was never added. So we've always had it once a week at least at our homes. This porridge was a ritual. So once a week, we can't ask for any other breakfast. We just have to have this, period.
Okay.
So Sangeeta Tandon wants to know that can we substitute oats with rice?
There is no oats in this. So it's not, can we substitute oats instead of rice?
Yeah, maybe you can ferment the oats overnight and then cook it the same way. But I don't know how the taste will be. Honestly, I haven't tried any of those things.
But Sangeeta, if we are trying to improve gut health, oats don't do that. It's rice with cheese.
So if we add jaggery, I think we can give it to those breastfeeding mothers also, isn't it?
But As Vasanti said, jaggery and honey has not tasted as well. She's tried it a few times. And she said the other option you can do is cool it and add buttermilk. Am I correct, Vasanti?
Yes, but you have to really cool it if you have to add buttermilk. Otherwise, it will split.
Okay.
The moment you add buttermilk to something that's warm or even hot, it will split and then it's not edible. And it's not advisable to eat that also.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So these are the options. But what you can actually do, like for youngsters, add flax seeds to this.
Okay, untuk minggu depan. Madam, हम packet kan? Yeah.
Your roasted
Minggu depan untuk tukang
No,
sampah.
you, me and the participants, can we mute everybody? There is a question. No worries. We're all working from home.
Please. Yeah, you can add your roasted flax seeds to this. I've tried it.
Yeah.
You can add all your nuts to this. I've tried that. It tastes very nice.
Pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds.
Or any of those seeds you can add once it's cooked and it's ready. You just top it with all of whatever garnish you want of your choice. Like I said, a lot of people like Sasha loves it with garlic. So when I go there, I make it with garlic for her. So to each his own, you know, these are all your added tastes that you want.
Yeah.
Yes.
So as I think I was asking, should we add jaggery? Maybe your palate, you've not enjoyed it. If somebody wants to try with jaggery and honey, no harm.
It might be nice, but you know what? Jaggery will become more like a kheer, like a paisam, I feel.
Oh.
If you remember the paisam that you loved in my house with dal and rice, Poonam and you loved it.
Yeah, I loved it.
Jaggery and coconut milk. That's only jaggery and coconut milk. So that you cannot have as a breakfast. This is a breakfast item for the gut. So since we were talking about probiotic and for the gut, I think this is the best way to do this.
Right.
Otherwise, yes, you can add anything you want. You can add coconut, you can add whatever. Cashew nuts. But it's not all good for the health, right? If you make it every day.
I think we'll stick to gut health for this and then enhance taste with other ways. Okay, great. Vasanti, should we move to yogurt? Which one do you want to share first? Coconut or plain yogurt?
Fresh yogurt, yeah. Fresh yogurt, milk, fresh milk with culture.
Okay.
The basic thing is always have your culture very fresh. Don't keep culture which is a week old to set your yogurt.
Okay.
Every time you make new yogurt, take out a little bit, keep it as your culture, new culture. Throw away the old if you don't want it, or mix it into buttermilk.
Culture is good for what? 24, 48 hours. A good culture.
Good culture, 24.
24 hours. So every time you make yogurt, keep the fresh one, leave the old one.
Yes, and use the old one for your raita or your buttermilk or whatever.
Correct.
Your, I don't know what, curry. There's so many options, right? Okay.
So in Jakarta, if you are not making yogurt so far, where do you get culture? For people who are not making yogurt so far.
Beg, borrow.
Oh, okay.
Lots of people,
not still is okay.
lots of people over past 20 years have sent their drivers with a little box culture from me, and I've always given. So everyone
Rita is laughing. I think Rita has also done that.
Many times.
Which is, very good to know, Vasanti, because I've also heard people say when we travel, we leave a pot of culture in our freezer. So when we come back, we reuse it. But it's good to know that it's always good to use the fresh culture.
Fresh culture is always best because that helps actually. The good bacteria, the live bacteria is there. The moment you leave it into the freezer, you don't have the live bacteria anymore, right?
Yeah.
That is the
You're
difference.
saying that it has to be a ceramic pot or, clay pot, if possible.
I generally set my curd in this ceramic pot.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
We can't see the curd, but we can see the pot.
I will show you the curd. Okay.
This is ceramic, yeah? This is ceramic pot?
Ceramic.
Yeah, this is a ceramic pot.
Okay. So ceramic and live culture. And what kind of milk, Vasanti? Full cream, toned?
I can't see her video. I mean, I think she has some technical issues.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, how many of you use a clay pot to make yogurt? Anybody in this audience, do you use a clay pot?
Yes, a clay pot, actually it absorbs water, so it makes the dahi thicker.
Oh,
Very good. Yeah.
okay. I think it's a great.
Pooja said something very sweet. Culture is the only thing you can borrow without feeling shy. So true. And you know, it keeps up that Indian culture alive in you wherever you are in the world.
Oh, she uses ceramic. In fact, I recently bought an earthenware pot from Tokopedia to make my yogurt. And, so now it's only used for yogurt, nothing else. But it is thicker, but I can still see the way in it. It's not like gone.
There is, so next time when you come to India, there's a website called elementary.com and they sell some beautiful pots only for yogurt making. They're known for it in all earthenware and some beautiful pots. I'm not promoting the website, but I picked up some and it's really, really nice stuff. So maybe next time. Have we got Vasanti back? Not yet.
Oh, not yet. Maybe we can move on.
So Meeta Mathur says that I have used 1 green chili in ½ cup warm milk, leave it overnight and the yogurt is set. This is perfect. So that's a good tip. Probably it's working very well. So ½ cup of warm milk and 1 green chili. With the stick, without the stick, Meeta? We'll wait for her response. So we have not got Vasanti back, maybe some.
Yeah, so let me try. In fact, this was another tip that Vasanti also shared on the cooking group, where she said, let's put a chili in case you...
I actually put, as far as I do, I put 2 whole chilies over 1 kilo of milk with the stick. Just wash it and just put it. But I do put culture in it. I don't do without culture. So if this is happening without culture, very good. Some people do add, milk powder and all to also thicken their yogurt. But I don't know if it takes away your, the good bacteria.
No, it makes it really thick and nice.
Creamy and thick,
Very creamy.
Yeah. A lot of restaurants.
So maybe we will wait for Vasanti when she comes back. Shall we move on to Rimi?
Yes. We'll move on to Srikhand, the Meetha Srikhand. Rimi, where are you?
I'm right here.
I can see her. Hi, Rimi. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you. Hello, everybody.
So good to have you. Everybody I spoke to, everybody said, talk to Rimi about her Srikhand. Her Srikhand is amazing.
The funniest thing is that it's the easiest thing on the planet. Actually, have you seen the pictures of how to hang it and how to put it in the fridge and all of that?
Yeah, I'm going to, So this is your hung curd.
Here's my hung curd that I have prepared for today.
Which is really thick.
Home yogurt?
Say that again?
Did you take the homemade yogurt?
Yes, it is the homemade yogurt, but you can also do it. You can also do it with store-bought yogurt.
Yeah, but can I just ask you, would you have a sample of your home yogurt around to show?
My own yogurt, normal yogurt?
Yeah. Say that this was before and this is how thick you need to let it.
No, so let me show you, the presentation.
Yeah, Poonam will show you the pictures. I've got the pictures. She's got the pictures.
Yeah, I've got the pictures. So she shared everything with me. So this is how her Srikhand looks. It's amazing. It's really yum. So what she does is she takes 2 liters of yogurt.
Yeah.
And that is what she used, the yogurt. And then the first day, so this is a 2-day process. It takes 2 days. On day 1, she makes a hung curd with 2 liters of milk. So she puts the curd into the muslin cloth and she hangs it. And then she puts it in a strainer in the refrigerator and leaves it to drain overnight. So this is how it looks. So, she puts it in the strainer, in a pot, and she puts it in the fridge. And then she removes it, so then you can see the hung curd as she has now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stop sharing so we can go back to Rimi.
Perfect.
Yeah, Rimi.
So this is homemade yogurt which has been strained, left in the refrigerator overnight, and that's the creamy stuff that you have now.
Yeah. So it's almost like a very soft dough.
Yeah. Okay. So this is what I've got from 2 liters of milk. And all I'm going to do is add 5 heaped spoons of sugar.
Powdered sugar?
Yeah, powdered sugar. So you don't have to buy icing sugar or anything. You can just powder your own normal regular sugar.
Okay.
I've actually tried it also with gur, and I've also tried it with gulla java. It works with everything.
So gur, you grate it and add it?
Yes, or buy the powdered gur. So here's the 5 spoons and mix it up. And I've got the kesar, you know, the saffron. Already soaked.
Yeah.
So just added the kesar and elaichi, the cardamom
powder.
And that's it. You just have to mix it up nicely. And that's your Shrikhand. Nothing more to it. You know, there's no mystery. But it can be made quite fancy. This is my basic Shrikhand. You can add nuts and make nut Shrikhand. You can make yogurt. I mean, what should I say? Mango Shrikhand. You can put fresh fruit in it, cut fruit. And you can make the mango one. Actually, you don't make sure you don't put so much sugar because the mango itself is going to be sweet. Yeah. So, you know, yogurt, this Shrikhand is all about tasting it and seeing how much sugar you actually like. Because you might want...
When you add sugar, it doesn't get watery.
It doesn't. No, no, no. Nothing will happen. It'll stay just like this and stays quite good in the fridge for about 5 days to a week. Yeah. And then if you're making it before a party or something, you need to freeze it. So it doesn't get sour, but it'll, in this form, it'll still stay good for about 4 or 5 days, up to 7 days, depends on, you know, the cold fridge and the temperature and all of that. Yeah, that's it. This is...
You mentioned you can add fruits to it. So what kind of fruits can you recommend for these? Berries?
Yeah, yeah. You know, if you're doing berries, then just do berries. If you're doing banana, you know, banana and mango, so papaya, try different fruits up to your taste. Okay. And actually all kinds of fruits can go in. People also do it with oranges, you know, with...
even I thought berries would make it sour.
No, no, no. You know, the taste of the berries will definitely be there, but then there's this sweet yogurt to have it with. So this is ready. This is absolutely ready. Look how creamy it's turned.
It is, yeah.
You know? Rimi, we had last time spoken and you told me that you keep it in the fridge. Everything.
Yes.
Like, so do you have that thing where you keep it in the fridge? Do you have how you keep it? I mean, how do you do it?
Okay, just imagine here's the bowl. Yeah. And I've got the strainer on top of it. And in the strainer, I've got the potli of the dahi. That's it. So this, it'll be about this thick, this high in the fridge, the whole thing in the fridge.
Poonam, can you show that picture again?
I'll show that again.
Yeah.
I had sent the pictures to Poonam.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Because I remember you were telling that's the trick when you keep it in the fridge overnight without getting sour, right?
Yeah, that's exactly the trick. Yeah, if you leave it out, then it's definitely going to get sour in this weather.
So do you use mango puree or mango pieces?
Mango puree, but you know, some people would like the kesar yogurt and just put mango pieces. But like, you know, Geeta Tonk makes it with half mango puree and half of this yogurt. So different variations, and hers is, you know, it'll taste completely different from the pieces of mango. So yeah, this is it. You know, this is the whole thing. There's nothing more to it. It's quite yummy. And adjust the sugar. Make sure you adjust the sugar.
Yeah. Yum. And chili.
You can't do this to us. Please don't taste.
If you have any questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, I'm done.
No, this is really nice because this is one dessert you can make it and keep it for days and it doesn't go bad, and yet it is healthy.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can actually, because if you're making homemade yogurt, you can take all of the malai out. So that, you know, in fact, from this, we've taken all the malai out. So there must be very little fat in it.
Okay.
And also considering this is 2 liters of milk, the sugar is also minimum because this powdered sugar, it looks more and it's not, it doesn't weigh that much. So this would be not too much sugar either. And you can adjust the sugar according to your taste. So there's loads of options to do this with, but the trick is to put the whole contraption of the dahi and something to put the, you know, to catch the water and the strainer in the fridge overnight. Because if you leave it out, it definitely gets sour in this weather. That's the only trick basically. The other thing is that when you have this in the potli and say you've got this in the potli, and then the next day you see that, oh, it's still quite soft, then you put this on top of newspaper. You know, put a towel here, put this on top of a newspaper and let it soak up some more of the liquid. That's it. There's nothing more, you know, very small chances of you're not getting it right. It's a pretty short recipe.
That's a very good tip.
Yeah. I think Vasanthi is also back online. Vasanthi, hi.
Oh, no, I can't.
Okay, guys, this is it.
Sorry.
My computer just failed me, so I'm on my phone now.
Do you want to walk us back on the yogurt process, please? Before we come to you, I want to just come back to Rimi for a minute.
Sure, sure.
Rimi, to keep this in the refrigerator, do you still recommend an earthen pot or?
No. Anything. There's no need for earthen pot because all the water is going to come out anyway.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So there's no issue with that. Yeah.
Thank
you. Make it and enjoy.
Thank you, Rimi. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much.
Thank you, Rimi. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
We come back to Vasanthi. She doesn't have much of the internet connection, but we are going to get her back on her phone.
Yes, I'm here.
Great.
I'm here.
Yeah, so we are waiting for the
yogurt recipe, please, Vasanthi.
Yes, but before I go to the yogurt, I just want a small correction done on my porridge. The proportions that I had given for Poonam was for one person. Now, I couldn't do that one portion here today because you all will not be able to see, anything. That's why I took it for 3 people. So I doubled the quantities. So please
what given us is half teaspoon of raw parboiled rice and 1/4 teaspoon of fenugreek and half cup of fresh coconut milk.
Perfect. That is for one person.
Okay.
Yes. So I just made it, I doubled it so that you all could get to see something. That's why. Okay?
Okay.
So now coming back to the fresh milk yogurt with culture. So basically in a thick bottom vessel, you try to take a thick bottom vessel and add about 2 to 4 tablespoons of water first. Why? Because the temperature of milk is different from what you're actually cooking it. So when you directly pour the milk into the vessel, what happens? Chances of it is splitting. 1, 2, it sticks to the bottom. So all your cream is stuck to the bottom of the vessel. So the moment you add water and then you add your milk and stir it in between once or twice. Don't just leave it to your maid and say, okay, boil your milk and I'm coming. No. Make sure you teach them that they have to stand there and stir the milk. It has to be on medium flame, not on high flame if you want to get good, thick yogurt. Yeah. These are the tips. 1.
Yeah.
And then cool the milk to body temperature. How do you check it? Put a drop on the palm, on your palm, and check if it's the same body temperature. Now add 2 tablespoons of good homemade culture to it and leave it overnight for at least 6 to 8 hours. Either if you're setting it in the morning, 6 to 8 hours, otherwise leave it overnight. That's enough. Keep the set curd in the refrigerator. Now, how I'll show you, I hope I'm able to show you girls anyway. How to check, can you see anything? Can you see anything?
Yeah, can do.
So that is my yogurt. The best way to check is put a spoon in, okay? It should not sink.
A little more, Vasanthi. Perfect, no. Yeah, just right. Yeah.
So this is my yogurt, set yogurt. Okay. And if you put the spoon in, it should not sink and it should not make an impression of the spoon. Can you see?
Okay, well set.
Yes, this is my well set fresh milk yogurt. Now there are lots
of us while checking, we put the spoon and then we just mess the whole process.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that. So when you want to take yogurt, that's why I said I normally set in these, can you see?
Yeah.
These small containers. So you're just taking that portion and the rest is inside. So I've got a couple of these containers, not necessarily these earthenware. You can have those small boxes, glass containers. They work very well as well. Even stainless steel works very well for yogurt. So
I think that's a very good tip also. And I personally feel what happens when I know Bela does this too. She makes yogurt in small portions. And what I realized is when you make it in a big bowl and maybe I have eaten, but the other few people, family members, are going to eat later. When you cut it, the rest becomes a little runny and leaves water.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So the second person doesn't get it as firm as the first person has got. So if you make it in small pots or individual pots, it's firm and nice for everyone to enjoy.
And also the yogurt, especially in Jakarta, that you get, the milk in Jakarta that you get is not really very thick milk, like the milk back home from the bhaiyas or whoever supply fresh milk to you. So there is, if you take out the cream from the milk and then you set yogurt, you're not going to get thick yogurt. So what I do is, once the yogurt is set, like this, what I showed you, I collect this cream and keep it in a box in the freezer. So over 15 days, and then I churn butter out of that cream.
Correct. My mom does that. Yeah.
Yeah. And when you make ghee out of that, it is so delicious. Believe me, you have to try it.
Yes.
Yes.
I agree with you 100%.
Correct? Yeah. So that,
I thought it's a very Punjabi technique, but I didn't know it's like a regular technique everybody uses. I've seen it only in Punjabi families, that they take out the cream from the yogurt and then collect it.
They collect the cream from the milk. It is the south of India that we collect the cream from the yogurt. That's a big difference. So even the ghee tastes very different.
Yes.
Okay. So that is on that. Now can I move on to coconut yogurt, or anyone has any questions?
We don't have questions, Vasanthi, but I think we are kind of running out of time. So maybe if you don't mind, we can move on to Sushila and do the tempeh.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And coconut curd?
I think there is people want to know the coconut curd, Vasanthi. We're still with you.
We are really interested coconut curd.
We want to know the coconut curd, please.
Yeah, please. You can tell us quickly.
Hi, Pavni, hi, Geeta, everyone, welcome. Yeah. Okay, coconut curd. In a large cup, take a large cup of freshly grated coconut. Okay, grate coconut at home, and to that add 1 cup of warm water. Let it sit, cover it, and let it sit for 10 minutes. After that, you run that in the mixie. And then you strain that, you put your strainer, over that you put a muslin cloth. And then you strain that. So you get a nice thick coconut milk, right? Now that, you can either add your homemade fresh culture, which will look like this. Let me show you the consistency. Can you all see?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the consistency, see? Can you see?
Oh, how nice. Very thick and nice.
This is the consistency. But you know, again, it is not like your fresh milk yogurt. This has got a more creamy consistency. But it's thick. Can you see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you make the regular dairy yogurt sample to make it.
Yeah. This is that one. Okay. This is the first method I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Okay. This comes nice and thick. The second one is same way. You take out your coconut milk. Before putting the culture, you have to warm the milk to body temperature. Yeah. I didn't tell you that.
That's the case with any yogurt.
Yeah. You have to warm the milk to body temperature. Yeah. And then the second method is same way. You take the milk, warm it to body temperature, and then you have these chili stalks or the crowns of the chilies. Okay, so you just I don't have something to show. I have coconut milk here, so I will, for this much. Can you see the amount?
Yeah, about half.
Yeah, half of this.
Yeah,
half of this. I will put in 5 of these chili stalks or crowns, whatever you can call it.
Only the stalks, not the whole chili with the stalk.
Oh no, because the moment you put the whole chili, the taste is really bad.
In coconut milk.
In coconut milk. So now, see, this was not heated. I just showed it because I want to show you. You have to heat it to body temperature.
Correct.
And then add these chili stalks, and then cover it and leave this at least for 24 hours.
24?
That's a lot.
Hours. Yeah.
There is no culture to it.
It takes longer. Why? Because the coconut milk is sweet in nature, one. And then second, as somebody just said, there's no actual culture to it. Okay. And then after that, you will not get this consistency with it. You will get a slightly runny consistency.
Is this the coconut yogurt in your hand?
Yeah.
Coconut yogurt.
How does it taste, Vasanti?
Must be fab.
Yeah, I'm sure it tastes yum. You can model for it. But is it sweetish? Is it very coconutty, overpowering coconutty?
It's like your sweet dahi, that taste, if you don't have sour curd. But that's not a good idea to have a very sweet curd every time. Huh?
Yeah.
You need the curd to be a little sour for your gut.
So where would you use a coconut yogurt? I mean, besides eating it plain, would you use desserts?
You can add all your berries, the prebiotic berries that you were talking about.
Yes,
so
correct.
It will taste very yum. You can add honey to this. This is an excellent one for making your raitas.
Okay.
Or all the South Indian pacharis that we make.
Yeah.
Jayashree was talking.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, it's good for that. And what else can you make? It's excellent for curd rice. It's very tasty if you make curd rice out of this. I presume you all know how to make curd rice, right? With the tadka.
We'll come back to you for that one more time. There's never going to be an end to Vasanti for recipes. One will the other one for sure. But
in fact, there is Nupur is saying that she uses coconut curd made with probiotic capsules.
Yes, you can do that. That is the right way actually to do it. But you don't get probiotic capsules everywhere. And the ones that you get in Tokopedia are not the best quality. That's why I did not suggest that. Unless you get them from US. And I prefer...
Vasanti is there for the coconut culture, guys.
I'm a very desi at heart. Yeah, come on. So...
Can you use regular yogurt culture for the coconut yogurt?
Yes, that's what I just showed you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can come over. I can give you to taste.
Yes.
We are not far off. Tomorrow. Come.
This is really not fair. I'm in India. It's lunchtime. One is having kanji. One is having coconut yogurt. One is having shrikhand. Let's move on.
I will ask Sasha to make and send to you.
Thank you so much. Okay. I would not say no. Your daughter's an excellent cook like the mother, so I wouldn't say no. Well, great. Thank you so much, Vasanti. Very, very
unique recipe, Vasanti.
Yeah, thank you. This coconut is wonderful. Anybody can eat it. Even for people who are lactose intolerant, I think this is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, these days you really need either the chili crown or you need the probiotic capsules to start.
Vasanti,
yes,
if you are putting culture, then also it takes 24 hours?
No.
Then it's this, yeah.
Just about 7 to 8 hours.
Okay, thank you.
Just like your curd.
Okay.
Jayashree has a question, Vasanti. She says, first time we have used the normal yogurt culture for the coconut yogurt. The second time, can we use the yogurt from the coconut yogurt as a culture, or we still need to go back to the normal yogurt
culture? Because otherwise it takes even longer and it starts smelling. Fresh taste.
Okay.
So you just use the yogurt culture every time you make the coconut yogurt also.
I mean, what big difference? You're just using about one spoonful of regular culture.
Yeah.
That 1 cup. And it's so thick and creamy. But again, let me tell you guys, it's a very developed taste. A lot of people don't like coconut, then don't blame me, please.
You've got to try it to see, maybe you love it. So, yeah. Great.
I'm sure even Shrikhand tastes great.
I just wanted to share the recipe for the coconut yogurt. So, so there's dairy milk and there's coconut yogurt. So it's very simple. If you want, you can take a photo of this and you can keep it. Otherwise, it will be available on the Indo-Indians website from tomorrow.
Yeah, great.
Okay, so now...
Glad we could get Vasanti back.
Yes.
Despite the little glitches and technical issues. It had to happen actually, since we were trying so hard to get Vasanti. So we had to have some glitch for sure. But I'm glad we could finally do this.
Yeah.
We now move on to Sushila Mahtani, who's going to share tempeh steak for all of us with pepper sauce. Can we get Sushila
Yes, Sushila, please unmute yourself. Yeah, perfect.
Can you see me? All. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, Sushila.
Hi.
The show.
Nice to meet you all. Okay.
Lovely to see you. So tempeh steak is sounding very exciting.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Now
Okay,
I'm
great.
showing you the tempeh stick.
Yeah. Can we just show the ingredients on the screen?
Sure. I'll just share that.
The recipe already there. Yeah, what do? First you boil.
Just a minute, Sushila. I'll just show your recipe first so that it's
So
clear.
it's 100 grams of tempeh till Poonam gets the slide on. It's 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of flour, 1 tablespoon of ketchup mayonnaise. Those are the basic 4 ingredients. It's really not too many ingredients in this.
Yeah, it's just tempeh.
Very simple.
Yeah, very simple, correct.
So what you do, the tempeh you steam 15 minutes.
Okay.
And then you grind it, or you want to ulak also can.
Correct.
And then you put all the ingredients.
Okay.
1 tablespoon of flour, salt.
And salt.
So it just becomes like a paste.
Yeah, see like this.
It's like this. Okay.
Can you see?
Yeah.
So you,
Yeah.
you make it like this, become like this.
Like a patty
You
there.
make it like a burger patty.
Okay. Instead of ketchup mayonnaise, I didn't write there. You can put oyster mushroom sauce.
Okay.
It's more tasty.
Sauce de ram.
And then you can put oregano.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can add that. In the recipe, I don't write, but you can add that.
Okay.
Okay, and then simple. And the vegetables is so simple, whatever you like. The potato, I steam it. I don't boil. I steam it, then I cut, then I bake it. I put lemon, oregano, and salt, black pepper.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So Sushila, I have a question. So when you get this little paste and then you make a little patty out of that, and then you bake the patty, or you deep fry it? You bake it.
Bake, then once you put butter, then
you just saute it in the pan.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Because it's already steamed.
It's already steamed.
I put this one also, sesame seed.
Sesame seed. Okay. Great.
So it's more tasty, huh?
Yeah. But there's no ginger, there's no garlic, none of those flavorings to it.
Garlic, if you like, you can put it garlic.
Okay. Okay. So you can experiment with your own flavors.
Yeah, whatever you like. Some people like put garlic and down bawang, garlic leaves.
Okay.
Put oregano.
In fact, Sushila has also shared the barbecue sauce that she puts on top of it.
Yeah.
And you can
paradise meal.
And it's only garlic, tomato sauce, some mushroom flavor if you would like, some water, and you just boil it with some sugar.
Yeah, very simple.
Oh, nice. It looks very nice.
So I put butter. I salted with butter for garlic.
Okay.
And then I put 3 tablespoons of tomato sauce and 100 milliliter water. Boil it for 10 minutes.
Okay.
I put little bit this sauce, ketchup, the mushroom.
Okay. Yours.
Also barbecue sauce become more tasty.
Yeah.
Just
Some people don't like mushrooms. People who are vegetarians sometimes don't like mushrooms also. So they can just...
They can don't put this one. They put only tomato sauce. That's your choice. Okay, boil.
Okay. That's it. I just want to ask Sushila, so we can make these little cakes, and before we do pan fry, can we freeze it and then take it out as and how required, or it's not fair?
But
does it taste nice?
Fresh, it's better. Because tempeh sometimes we keep in the fridge 2 days, it
smells.
Yeah, it's better fresh. And it's so easy to make, you know, the only 15 to 10 minutes to mix it.
Correct.
That's all. So simple. But it
Very
is
nice.
tasty. It was very
It's looking very appetizing with the vegetables, and especially with the sauce on it. It's just like, you know, as we say, mock meat, it is looking like that. It's looking very, very nice and interesting.
You can put broccoli also if you like. Today I don't have broccoli, otherwise I put broccoli also. No?
Color on it.
The vegetable is your choice.
Can we just see how thick is the burger, that patty?
Yeah. See, if too thick, it become not nice, not crispy. You know, it's like kacha. So it should be like this.
Okay, so it should be thin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you turn it on the side so we can see how thin it is? Chaya, we can't see it. You'll have to move it up.
Like this?
Yeah. Can you move it up? Yes, perfect. It's around half a centimeter thick.
Yeah.
Okay.
How does it bind? Does it bind by itself? You really have not put any binding ingredient in it.
I put flour.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that much little flour is good to bind it.
Yeah. That's why it bind.
Yeah, because otherwise it will crumble. Okay,
Then
it's a good option.
The sauce, that is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one without maizena, yeah, it takes become itself. Because 3 tablespoons tomato sauce we put.
Right.
So don't put maizena. The taste will be different.
Yeah.
And instead of sugar in this recipe, I put honey. A small
Okay.
yeah.
A dash of honey.
So we avoid to eat sugar, no? So you put honey.
Great. Thank you. I think it's looking very nice, and
Thank you.
everybody's going to try it and then come back to you on feedback. I'm sure it's quite tempting, and especially great for vegetarians who.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Looks great. Yeah.
It's very nice. Yeah. And then you can do the sauce of your choice, black pepper sauce, red sauce, whichever you want to do, and it's spicy. Great. Thank you, Sushila. Thank you so much for joining. Really glad you did. Shared your recipe.
Ladies, before we go, I just want to share one more small thing. For people who just want to try the coconut yogurt for the first time, you can buy the coconut cream and also set it. It sets beautifully.
Yeah.
Heat it up, just warm it up a bit, and then you put your culture. It works very well.
If you like the taste, then go ahead and make your coconut.
Yes. In fact,
Ladies,
I would put gula java in it and make it into a full dessert. Absolutely. Sounds.
Rita, see, I just finished it now.
Oh.
well, thank you. Thank you.
Rita is telling about Mishti Doi.
Yeah, I know.
Mishti Doi.
We want Mishti Doi next, Rita.
हाय अगर मेरे को आता बनाना तो मैं खुद नहीं बना के खाती हूँ.
Well, thank you.